London, 1888. In the heart of the East End, a series of brutal murders grips the city with fear. The killer, known as Jack the Ripper, preys on vulnerable women, leaving a trail of terror in his wake. 5 women, all with similar backgrounds, fall victim to the Ripper's gruesome attacks. Despite the efforts of the Metropolitan Police, the killer remains at large, his identity a chilling mystery. The murders take place within a few square miles in the impoverished neighborhood of Whitechapel. The Ripper's methods are shockingly brutal, with each killing escalating in violence. The press sensationalizes the murders, feeding the public's fear and fascination. Letters purportedly from the killer, taunting the police and signing off as Jack the Ripper, add to the hysteria. The most famous of these letters, known as the Dear Boss letter, is sent to the Central News Agency. In it, the writer claims responsibility for the murders and promises more violence to come. Mary Ann Nichols, Annie Chapman, Elizabeth Stride, Catherine Eddowes, and Mary Jane Kelly. These 5 women are forever linked by the tragic fate they share. Each murder is meticulously investigated, but the clues lead nowhere. Over the years, numerous suspects have been proposed, from local butchers and doctors to prominent figures of society. Montague John Druitt, a barrister, Aaron Kosminski, a Polish immigrant, and Francis Tumblety, a quack doctor, are among those considered by the police. Yet none of these men are definitively proven to be the Ripper. Today, Whitechapel is a place of pilgrimage for true crime enthusiasts and historians alike. The legacy of Jack the Ripper endures not only as a symbol of a brutal and unsolved crime, but as a reflection of the fears and anxieties of Victorian society. As long as the identity of Jack the Ripper remains unknown, the legend will continue to haunt our imagination, a dark chapter in the history of crime that refuses to close. France, 1703. Within the cold, impenetrable walls of the Bastille prison, a single prisoner languishes in obscurity. His face concealed by an iron mask, his identity remains one of history's greatest secrets. Who was this mysterious man? According to records, he was held in various prisons for over 3 decades. Always masked and under the strictest security, known only as the Man in the Iron Mask, his story has inspired countless theories and legends. Some believe he was a political enemy, a disgraced nobleman, or even the twin brother of King Louis XIV. The latter theory, popularized by Alexandre Dumas in his novel The Vicomte of Bragelonne, suggests that the prisoner was Louis XIV's identical twin, hidden away to protect the monarchy. Throughout his imprisonment, the Man in the Iron Mask was treated with a mix of respect and secrecy. Nuremberg, 1828. A teenage boy appears out of nowhere, claiming to have been held captive in a dark cell for most of his life. His name is Caspar Hauser. Caspar Hauser's sudden appearance is as mysterious as his origins. He can barely speak, carrying only a letter addressed to a local military officer. In it, his captor explains that Caspar has been raised in isolation, never seeing the light of day. Taken in by the townspeople, Caspar quickly becomes the subject of fascination and speculation. Who was this boy, and why had he been imprisoned for so long? Under the care of various benefactors, Caspar learns to read, write, and speak more fluently. He recounts his life in captivity, describing a small dark cell with only a straw bed and a toy horse for company. Caspar's story captivates Europe, with many speculating that he might be of noble birth. Some believe he is a lost prince, perhaps the heir to a royal throne hidden away for political reasons. Despite the curiosity and care he receives, Caspar's life is marked by tragedy. In 1833, he is found with a stab wound to the chest, claiming he was attacked by a mysterious assailant. He dies a few days later, his death as enigmatic as his life. Caspar Hauser's death only deepens the mystery. Was he murdered to silence him, or was his story a fabrication, his injury self-inflicted? To this day, the truth remains elusive. Caspar Hauser's story endures, a poignant reminder of the fragility of life and the depths of human curiosity. His legacy lives on in the many theories and speculations that continue to surround his brief but enigmatic existence. Victorian London, a city shrouded in mystery and superstition. Amidst the shadows and fog, tales of a terrifying figure known as Spring-Heeled Jack began to circulate, spreading fear and fascination. First reported in 1837, Spring-Heeled Jack was described as a demonic figure with clawed hands, glowing red eyes, and the ability to leap great distances. Witnesses claimed he could jump over walls and rooftops with ease, evading capture and leaving his victims in a state of shock. One of the earliest and most infamous encounters involved a young woman named Mary Stevens. Walking home one evening, she was attacked by a strange figure who leapt at her from the shadows. According to her account, his touch was cold and clammy, and he breathed blue flames into her face before bounding away with supernatural agility. Reports of similar attacks spread quickly, each more sensational than the last. Newspapers and broadsheets capitalized on the public's fear, describing encounters with this devilish figure in vivid detail. The legend of Spring-Heeled Jack grew, fueled by both hysteria and genuine belief. Reached such a height that the Lord Mayor of London, Sir John Cowan, received a flood of letters from concerned citizens. The legend of Spring-Heeled Jack grew, fueled by both hysteria and genuine belief. The panic reached such a height that the Lord Mayor of London, Sir John Cowan, received a flood of letters from concerned citizens. In January 1838, he publicly acknowledged the phenomenon, promising an investigation into the attacks. Many theories emerged to explain the mysterious figure. Some believed he was a prankster or a nobleman with a twisted sense of humor, using his wealth to create elaborate disguises and devices. Others were convinced that he was a supernatural being, a demon sent to terrorize the innocent. Despite numerous sightings and the best efforts of the authorities, Spring-Heeled Jack was never caught. He seemed to vanish as quickly as he appeared, leaving behind only fear and confusion. His legend persisted, with sightings reported well into the late 19th century. To this day, Spring-Heeled Jack remains an enigma. Was he a myth, a misunderstood acrobat, or something far more sinister? His story continues to capture the imagination, a testament to the power of folklore and the mysteries that lurk in the shadows of history.